Before we dive into today's conversation, I have an exciting reminder for all my fellow designers and decorators. If you're ready to take your interior design business to the next level in 2025, the Profit Academy for Interior Designers is open and ready when you are. This 6-week online course is designed to help you increase your profits, take control of your business, and charge what you are truly worth. The best part? You can do it at your own pace. So whether you need it to fit into your busy schedule or you're ready to dive in and start making changes today, the Profit Academy is ready for you. With the Profit Academy, you will get a step-by-step roadmap to running a profitable design business, proven price strategies to increase confidently and profitably charge for your time and your designs, templates, worksheets, real-world tools to streamline your workflow, and the flexibility to complete the course on your schedule, because your business should work for you and not the other way around. If you're ready to get started, head to the link in the show notes, and in just 6 weeks, you could be running a more profitable and efficient design business. Now, let's get ready to talk to today's incredible guest. Hi there, interior design lovers. Welcome back to the Business of Beautiful Spaces, the podcast where we blend design inspiration with all behind-the-scenes tips and tricks you need to thrive in your business. I'm your host, Laura Thornton, and with over 27 years in this interior design game and running a 7-figure design company, trust me, I've seen it all. I want to be your interior design bestie. I want to help you build the business of your dreams, make more money, and yes, ditch the stress along the way. I've been doing this for a long time, and now I'm sharing my knowledge with all of you, my fellow designers and decorators. All I ask in return is that you like, review, and follow this podcast wherever you listen, so other designers can find us and learn more too. So grab a coffee, get comfy, and let's dive into making 2025 your best business year yet. Welcome back to the Business of Beautiful Spaces podcast for interior designers and decorators. I'm excited to introduce you to Porsche Williams, the founder of Prototype, a concierge service that helps interior designers and decorators streamline their businesses and elevate their client experience. Porsche specializes in providing unique, done-for-you gifting solutions that seamlessly integrates into your process, going beyond the expected holiday season to create meaningful touchpoints throughout the client journey. In today's episode, we are diving into elevated gift-giving strategies for interior design firms and how and when we can use gifting to strengthen our relationships, reinforce our brand, and add a personal touch that sets your business apart from all others. Porsche will share insight on selecting thoughtful, impactful gifts that align with your firm's identity and the client experience, as well as how Prototype, her company, can handle the execution on your behalf. And if you've ever wanted to incorporate gifting into your process, but we're not sure where to start, well, this conversation is going to provide the clarity and the strategy. Hi, Porsche. Welcome to the Business of Beautiful Spaces podcast for interior designers. Thank you for joining me today. I was hoping we could start off by just telling us your journey and how you got into this niche market of concierge services for designers and other creatives.
Yes, I'd love to. And thank you for having me. So I was really inspired to start the Prototype about 8 years ago, just over 8 years ago. After having my son, I was really struggling to balance the multiple hats that I was wearing at the time. So as a new mom, as a newlywed, new homeowner, full-time employee, sister, friend, all of the hats that we wear. And so I just figured, like, this is a new level of adulting that I am not familiar with, and I need to figure out how to get it done. So I spoke to people in my life that I looked up to, and from the outside looking in, they seemed to have it kind of all together and all figured out. And what they really told me was about the amount of help that they have on the back end of their lives, some of which who spoke about it, some didn't speak about it kind of publicly, I guess you could say. But all of this help that really enabled them to be able to put their best foot forward. And that's where I started. I kind of created what I needed at the time and started with the mission to give people more time and less stress by helping them in their daily lives as they run their businesses. And so we started off as concierge for busy executives. And after a few years, an opportunity came up for us to work with an interior designer. And I said yes to providing a service that didn't really fit with our existing business model, but it fit my background in sales and luxury service. And that was doing discovery calls for the interior design firm. And so over the years, that's been about 5 years ago now, our services and expertise have really grown. But at the end of the day, business is built on relationships, and first impressions are critical to your business success. So we're really honored to help our clients stay in their zone of genius, which is design a lot of the times, and help them to project a consistent and elevated experience for anyone that is looking to hire them as their preferred design firm. So we're helping with all of the back end that doesn't require design expertise, and it's really been transformational for our clients.
So just so anyone listening, what would give us a couple of examples of backend, just so we don't lose anybody on what that
Yeah, of
means?
course. So doing the discovery calls and helping to vet projects and really educate prospective clients on the value of our particular client's design firm, and vet to see if that's a project that would really be a good fit for them. We also help with marketing support, building strategic relationships. We help with some of the email marketing, kind of the overall look of how information is presented, making sure that your client communication is on point and there are enough resources that clients get so that they are very clear on what the process is from the beginning. And we do gifting. That's one of my favorite services that we offer our design clients. And again, that service started organically based on the needs of the first interior design firm that we worked with. But gifting just lends itself really, really well to interior design as an industry. It's a long relationship. It's an industry based a lot on aesthetics, and a beautiful gift can really go a long way. So those are the ways in which we help.
I fully agree. I take a lot of pride in my gift giving and a lot
Mm-hmm.
of thought. And so I wasn't going to ask you this till much later, but I couldn't agree with you more, because you want something that is indicative of your business.
Mm-hmm.
And if you are driven by, I think interior design is a luxury to anyone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's luxury driven, period. If you have extra money in your bank account at the end of the month to be able to afford a designer, I don't care what type of design you're doing. I do
Yes.
find it a luxury. But I think it can be very tricky.
Yeah.
And I love that this is a service, because I am, after 20 something years of doing this, I'm tapping out on ideas. And so how great is it that I can, turn to someone to do this? And, we've done everything from, again, I always like to have it personalized. That's my thing,
Mm-hmm.
but I like that they can remember me all year long with whatever gift we've given. So now, when you're talking gifts, are you talking like end of project gifts? Are you talking holiday, or all of the above? Like, what type of gifts are we referring to?
I would say all of the above. Something that we do with our clients is we do gifting meetings at the beginning to identify what those milestones are, and to make sure that we are continually showing their clients how much they appreciate them. But something back to what you just said, we talk about supporting luxury interior design firms, and I don't say that to exclude firms that don't consider themselves luxury, but the privilege of working with a designer is a luxury, and the luxury clients expect more than just the products or services. They want an experience that
Mm-hmm.
matches their taste level, their standards. And it's one of the reasons that I love working with interior designers, because it's a professional service that's very personal. It's highly skilled and super personal, and it's long term. So having gifting is the cherry on top for a lot of design experiences, and it's something that I think designers understand the value of, but they may not have the systems created behind it to make it easy. So it's a thing on their list that they always want to do or they do inconsistently. And so what we're doing is helping to make it super effortless and consistent over the life of their client projects.
Yeah, and you're elevating the experience for the client,
Yes, exactly.
which is, yeah. So, I mean, this is a little off topic, but it'll circle back. Like I do find that a lot of people want to do luxury interior design, and by luxury, I mean true luxury, right? Like the
Hmm.
top echelon. But they actually don't know what's involved in that because
Hmm.
you don't realize the demand of what that client is going to have on you.
Hmm.
And if you don't understand the luxury level that they are at, then don't do it.
Yeah,
And otherwise, you're going to have to spend a fortune to try and figure out what they're conditioned to.
exactly.
Because it is a different level of
Yeah,
expectations of what they are, the places they're used to going, the service that they're used to getting is different. And so you have to appease to that type of client. And that was
yeah.
actually one of you have the client experience program that focuses on luxury interior design. And I'm wondering if you think the key components are they more for the client, or is it meaning the design client, not your interior designer? Like, are you
Hmm.
finding that that is actually more indicative that you're having to educate the designer on how to elevate the business to equal to that clientele? Or is it we can
Um,
skip that and you're that to the designer's client?
I think it goes both ways. I think there is some education for the designers that we're working with around the importance of saying no to projects that aren't ideal. I think that's a huge piece of it. And
That's a great point.
if you've identified the type of projects that you want to work on, the goal is to have higher quality projects and do less of them rather than having a bunch of little projects
Hmm.
throughout the year. So not do less business in general, but have less a smaller number of projects that you're managing at one time because they are ideal clients and ideal scopes of work and budgets and all of that type of thing. But then also there on the client side or prospective client side, there is a lot of misinformation and education that needs to be given around what is actually included and what the expectations are for a design project and the amount of steps and the process and the different phases that happen to get from idea to fully executed and living in that space. So the education goes both ways. Us helping our design clients understand the importance of working with ideal projects and making sure that they understand what that is for their business. And then also on the client side, a lot of people haven't worked with an interior designer before. So they really need a lot of education on what that looks like and the amount of trust really required in order for it to be a successful partnership at the end of the day. And that comes through being clear on the client communication, and that comes with having a consistently elevated intake process so that you're level setting expectations from the beginning, and it helps to mitigate misunderstandings and things like that down the road.
And I just wanted to add, you had mentioned that the gift giving came at certain milestones in the
Mhm.
project. Would you touch on when milestones you would recommend?
Yeah, so there are several milestones. So when I think about gifting, first it's a symbol of the relationship, right? And so I think of a designer client relationship like a bank account. And what can you do at a bank account? You can make deposits or withdrawals. So the excitement of sharing or the excitement of starting the project is a deposit, right? And then the project taking longer than anticipated is a withdrawal. Um,
Hmm.
the receiving a personalized gift is a deposit. Um, and the design presentation is another big deposit. But then receiving the bill once you start implementation and ordering and procurement, that can be a withdrawal, right?
Yeah.
So the goal is to never go into the negative. And so that's where gifting can come in to to kind of help keep you in the positive throughout. So we've done beginning of project kind of welcome gifts for clients. We've done gifts at during certain pain points during the project. So let's say, their kitchen has been under construction for 3 months, and everybody's over it. Maybe we'll gift like an experience, or we'll send dinner or something like that. We gift at the end of a project for sure, and do a gift at that time of something that relates to the area that was designed. It's important to include the client's circle of influence. So if they have kids, include their kids in the gift. Like, be mindful of who else can enjoy and benefit from whatever gift you're giving. Another thing that we started a couple years ago is like a 1-year anniversary gift, just to remind and keep you top of mind, remind clients what a great experience they had working with you and your firm, and to just highlight the area that was designed, and just leaves a good feeling for everybody all around.
I love that. I love that. So it's also a reminder a year later in case they're thinking about doing something
Yes.
else, and now they're going to reach out to you. Yeah. I
Yes,
love that.
it's definitely a way to increase your referrals and repeat clientele.
Okay, so I got us out of order because I got so excited about the gifting.
Okay.
I want to circle back to the intake services that you offer. And so you literally will do the vetting, and you will do the phone calls, and you will walk through before anyone ever gets to the designer themselves.
Yes. So we are kind of creating a buffer between the prospective client and the owner of the design firm, and that again gives that perception of, well, it's important because it shows that you have support, right, and that you're not the one juggling all the balls, handling everything within the business, and it's an opportunity for your value to be shared without trying to sell the client on the project and solve their problems during that initial discovery call. So it's an opportunity to understand what they're really looking for, what their experience has or hasn't been with interior designers in the past, get a really good scope of work, get an idea of budget, and be able to share a little bit of your process. And then also, it's a great way to elevate your firm in their eyes by understanding that you as a designer have a team of support. So all of our client experience specialists, we operate as if we're a member of your team. So the prospective client wouldn't know that they're not talking to someone on the design firm's team. We communicate through a local phone number. We send emails and follow-ups through an email account tied to your company. And sometimes clients have even added us to their websites. And so we do a lot at the beginning during our own client onboarding process to really understand and learn and role play to make sure that we can communicate seamlessly on your behalf. But it's been great. I mean, if you think about luxury service and just in general, like if you buy a Tesla, you don't expect for Elon to answer the phone when you call and have a question, right? So
good point.
It just helps to elevate your design firm overall.
So, okay, so right from go, they're getting a different experience with someone that is representing your business. You're doing the intake process. I mean, processes come out a lot, and we both know without a process, none of this will flow. So if you don't have a process, get that going first. Now you have the intake services. You vet everybody, you follow up, you do all the things that most entrepreneurs are busy running the business, doing on job sites. You're taking care of all of that for them. We're elevating the business with thoughtful gift giving at monumental milestones. What other ways can your team help a designer elevate their business?
Another way that we help support our clients is through relationship building. And that's a strategic part of the gifting process, but just relationship building overall, helping them to maximize when they are meeting new people. So let's say you went to a networking event and how many people have like come home with a stack of cards and then you never talk to those
Mm.
people again, right?
Hmm.
So strategic partnerships that lead to referrals and repeat business is a way that we help our clients by just being that initial interaction and outreach for communication to set up coffees and lunches or lunch and learns with the real estate firm, for example, or becoming preferred interior designers for an architecture firm, things like that to help keep you top of mind to people within your own circle of influence. So referral partners within your circle of influence of people that maybe you haven't worked with before, but it would make sense for y'all to work together, and things like that. So I hope that answered.
Yeah, it does. And your gift, like you do everything with the gifting from like the selection, the wrapping, the delivery, like all of it is just done and no one has to, you don't have to think about it.
Yeah, it depends on location. So sometimes for our
Mm.
clients, like in Australia, the local team has to be involved a little bit. But for the most part, you can pretty much hand it off to us. We'll send you,
It's
uh,
amazing.
thank you. Once we understand the reason and the milestone that we're celebrating, we'll send, if they're not already predetermined, we'll send some options for you to choose from. And then we'll move forward with ordering, adding a handwritten note. Like we have branded stationery for all of our clients. So we can write a handwritten note to go along with it. We'll receive it, repackage it, mail it out. And you just get the text or the email that's so like excited and surprised and delighted from the client to say, thank you for thinking of us.
Yeah, because I was just thinking about even just the holidays that just passed. And by
Mm-hmm.
the time we purchased everything, I had custom candles made for all of our clients, a day and a night scent or seasonal scent,
Oh,
however
I
you
love
wanted to
that.
word it.
Mm-hmm.
I had to I bought them all in the summer. That's how long it takes to
Mm-hmm.
custom. We custom designed the scents, custom designed the low. Like everything was with us,
Mm-hmm.
like done with us. Great. That's one portion. So there's time and effort. Then time and effort to go. Once we got them, go find the boxes that these fit and the fillers. Then we had to
Mm-hmm.
wrap them. So I'm already thinking about how many days our team took away from our business
Mm-hmm.
to wrap all the, because we do every client we've ever had pretty much, plus our vendors, plus our current
Mm-hmm.
clients, plus then I had my sons were home from university, so both of them came in and drove around for 3 days delivering. And we
Mm-hmm.
had like I'm just adding all of this up going, all of this could have been handed off
Yeah,
to
could
Portia
have been
and team
handed
over a
off.
prototype. And as much as, you love, it's a lot of time, it's a lot of effort,
Mm-hmm.
and it was beyond the cost of just the two candles in a box.
Yeah,
It was gas,
exactly.
it was kilometers, it was driving around, it was the ribbons, it was the boxes, it was the filler, it was the time and effort we all did like so much time and effort.
Yeah.
And yeah, like I'm sorry, I'm getting stuck on the gift giving because it's a really great service and I've never
Oh,
heard
thank
anyone else
you.
that does it for interior designers.
Yeah.
I think that's a fabulous a way to because it is a great way to elevate your business and your clients do get used to getting these fabulous gifts and the expectations get higher and higher every year.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a lot of pressure.
Yeah, it is, and it's so great when it can be consistent. It's that much more
Hmm.
impactful. And like every holiday, like so we recommend that our clients do gifting around the end of the year, but not so much specific to Christmas,
Sure.
only because they gifts at that time can come a dime a dozen,
Hmm.
right? So it kind of loses some of its spark. But what we've done in the past is do like a fall gift. So maybe it's something that arrives before Thanksgiving, that still allows for the recipient to to make memories with their family. We did cookbooks one year And then we took the designer's favorite recipe. It was her favorite cookbook, her favorite recipe out of that cookbook, and then one of the spices in that recipe that people don't normally have in their pantry. And we did like a custom bookmark. And so it was all around creating this kind of new family experience, shared experience. Um, so having the gifts a little bit off of the traditional holiday schedule can help you really stand out. So
Hmm.
maybe a New Year's gift or a fall gift instead of Christmas, or a Valentine's gift, or just a random Tuesday. That's when it means even more, I think, for people.
It's very thoughtful. We do that anytime any holiday that's, depending on what our clients celebrate holidays culturally
Hmm.
wise or religious wise, we obviously do bring gifts at those times. But if we're working on 6 clients' homes and it's our Thanksgiving, we always do bring a Thanksgiving. We do something around
Yeah.
that holiday as well, just to kind of thank them. 'Cause to your point, we know they're being output of their home in some way, or we're bothering them in some way, or their house is
Yeah.
disheveled in some way. But it is amazing how far a gift goes. And you're right. Like it's not just the holidays. It's got to be done at other
Yeah.
times. I'm going to ask you one more question about this gift
Hmm.
giving because I know I've kind of focused on it, and you do far more than that. But this has
You're
got to be
totally
something
fine.
that is really like your niche market because
Hmm.
I've never heard, like I said, I've never heard anyone else that does it. But there was a point where, we had I wouldn't call them milestones, but if a client came in, we had certain things that like we used to wrap up their presentation in a box with a bow, like it was like a gift, even though they for sure have paid for it. Like we used to do things like that to make it a little bit more of an unveiling. And then we had certain things, but we have so much repeat business
Hmm.
that only works the first time. Because
Yeah.
now it's no longer a surprise. And then it's no longer a big deal. You can watch it just kind of get shoved away, this box. So, I mean, it's got to be hard to keep leveling up and leveling up. And would you recommend having like a standard of things that you're doing through your process that regardless if it's a repeat client, they're still getting that same thing? Or do you think you have to keep stirring the pot and coming up with more? Because I have clients that I've done 6, 7, 8 projects with.
Hmm.
Well, you kind of hit the top
Yeah.
of I got nothing left on the creative juices of trying to make this presentation more fabulous, other than I'm going to bring in a different treat, right? A different
Yeah.
array of goods. But yeah, is
I
it?
I think it depends on what the milestone is. So for it might and where they like how long they've been with you. So for referrals, we have like a standard gift that we may give. And or for a new client welcome, that may be a standard gift. So if it's a repeat client, they may not get that same welcome
Mhm.
gift. But that's when the attention to detail is super important. And that's something that we help incorporate for clients as far as a client profile to really learn about what is important to them so that we have that information when we need to think of something that we weren't already giving. So the client profile can be something like it can be like an online form, or it can be through just kind of conversation of observation, where we're finding out what their hobbies and interests are, and their favorite drinks, and if they collect anything, or their favorite flowers, or paying attention to their daughter starting at university and what college that is, and just kind of being mindful of what's going on in their lives. If you're really mindful of that, you can get a lot of clues into what's going on for them. And it doesn't always have to be expensive. It can be like a handwritten note, like it's literally the thought that counts. It can go a long way in just acknowledging that receiving something in the mail as adults is exciting. That's why Amazon is a
Mhm.
gajillion-dollar business. So receiving a handwritten note from your designer that just acknowledges what you have going on, and maybe a small token, can go a really long way. And the more, I think, authentic and natural the relationship is, the less the client is focused on um, how fancy the gift is. They're focused on just the fact that you were thinking about them and that you know what's going on with them, and they're still appreciative to whatever you decide to share with them.
Yeah, it's true. I always I have custom made monogram cards
Hmm.
just like you were talking. And it doesn't matter if I never see the client again. I went to their home and did a consultation. I always send a handwritten thank you note allowing
Yeah,
me into their home. And even if they ghost me, because that happens, majority of them will always say, I can't believe you sent us a note. Like
yeah,
because it's different than an email.
it
It
is
actually
very different.
required you to write
Yes,
it, to put a stamp on it, and get it to a
yes,
mailbox. Like there's so much more effort that
yes.
people really do appreciate that. So, okay, so we know we've tackled that you do the intake services. We
Hmm.
heavily tackled the gifting. Can you tell me what other services your prototype company, that's the name, prototype company,
Hmm.
prototype offers designers? And then we're gonna ask you where we can find you for all those
Yeah, of
fabulous
course.
services.
Of course. So we provide services for our designers that we're rolling out a new kind of method of delivering our services. So for designers that are newer and more focused on the foundational pieces of the business, it's your client intake, some of the templates and workflow type templates that we're helped to make sure that we have clearly defined the client intake process, a little bit of the relationship building, and then we monitor the KPIs for those interactions. So how many people are inquiring? Where are the lead sources coming from? Um, what the conversion rate is between people that have booked discovery calls versus that have paid for consultations, and whether those consultations turn into full projects. And so we do that for kind of our newer designers. And then for those that are more established, we really shift our focus from, we still provide those initial services, but we also add in more intentional um, relationship building with the communication and scheduling strategic partnership meetings. We incorporate the gifting, and we help with the email marketing and just elevating their brand overall. But for
Wow.
all of our clients, we do the initial discovery calls and helping to vet and educate for
It's a
projects.
lot. Right. Okay.
Yeah.
That's amazing. And where can listeners find you?
So we would love for listeners to find us on Instagram at the Prototype Lifestyle. We also, you can go to our website at theprototype.net /gift to download a resource that we have for the listeners. It's 5 ways to make gifting effective for your interior design firm. By downloading that, they'll get access to our mailing list, and we're actually in the process of launching an online course. So they'll be able to join the wait list for the Designer's Guide to Reliable Lead Generation. And that'll be a course that really helps take the guesswork out of where your next project is going to come from. And so by downloading that gifting guide, they'll be able to get access to, they'll be able to know when registration opens and get exclusive bonuses and early bird pricing on the course that'll come out in April.
Oh, nice. I know how much work that is.
Yeah, yes.
Way more work than you probably thought, right? Yeah.
Oh man, just like the podcast,
Oh my
it's
God.
more work than
Yeah.
you thought it was going to be. But I'm so excited because it is just a way for us to share all of our knowledge and expertise
Hmm.
that we've learned over the years, to help people know that it doesn't have to be impossible and hard, and you don't have to figure it all out on your own. There are
Yeah.
people that are willing to share their expertise, and yeah, we hope a lot of designers benefit from it.
I know it's great. I know when I did it too, it was a lot of work. It's a labor of love, but
Hmm.
it's a great way to get someone is going to gain so much knowledge, and all
Yeah,
the years that it took you, they're getting it in, I don't know how many weeks yours is, but in 4, 5, 6 weeks of a course,
yeah,
you're getting somebody's lifetime of work and effort and education that you can't quantify it.
Yeah,
So it's like a steal.
it's a great alternative for people that aren't ready for our monthly higher level services. So it's a great way to get yourself and your firm at the level to where you can outsource some of the other pieces of your business. But it starts with the amount of clients that you're working with on a daily basis. So we want to help take some of the guesswork out of that.
It's great. I know I could be talking to you for the next 2 hours about this, but I know you've got things to do. So thank you very much for joining me today. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure.